You are about to enter a dimension not only of chaos and caffeine, but of sirens, sarcasm, and stories too wild to be made up.
A journey into a land with professionalism meets panic and trauma meets twisted humor.
You're moving into a realm of backroom confessions, midnight madness, and things they definitely didn't teach in school.
You just crossed over into the Unhinged Essentials.
Happy October. Welcome back, Unhinged Essentials.
Welcome.
Today we have the
Miss Lisa.
It's the different side of our job. Dispatch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hard job.
So I think dispatch scares me more than trach tubes, GI bleeds, period blood, you name it.
The closure of it. That would be the issue.
Yeah, so somebody, Cletus put down the gun and they're talking to dispatch.
Yeah.
And then you've got to talk to the person that's got a gun pointed at them. And then it's like, hey, the cops are here. And you're like, cool, have a nice day. Click.
Yeah. It's like, what happened to Cletus?
Yeah. Is Cletus okay?
Yeah. Is everybody okay?
Did
Cletus...
Jethro find his leg?
Yeah. Is grandma okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Did Meemaw survive CPR?
Yeah.
How do you do that job and then come back every day and keep doing it? And I've known dispatchers that have done it for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
40 hours a week.
I can honestly say I know minimal.
No fucking thank you.
Dispatcher. Yeah. I'm like,
I'm not doing that.
I mean, even working in the ER, you don't get 100% closure, but at least you kind of see the course.
You see more of.
Yeah, you see more of.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we've stabilized you. It's time
you at least know that like they're either dead or they went upstairs or dispoed home.
And honestly, sometimes you find out what the end product is.
Yeah.
Not always, but sometimes.
I can't even imagine. So October, you've heard our new intro.
Yes, I'm so proud of that.
You like the new intro,
guys. I am super excited about this month. Like, I'm not a big Halloween person, but I do love the stories.
Listen, we started in August. We made it to October.
Oh, we've been going on for a minute.
I know.
For a minute.
Yep.
Oh, you're stuck with us.
Love it.
Anyway,
we're to October. It's sweater weather.
Yes.
Okay,
guys, I'm so sorry. I hate summer.
Yeah.
Stuff sweats. It's not pretty.
I would rather be cold and put on clothes than hot and have to get naked and make everything weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I'm at a beach and then I can go and climb in a nice ocean and
get a pool, get an ocean, something.
Yeah, something. Or the lake.
What about do beans belong in chili?
Oh, that's a loaded question. For real. 100% loaded question.
Do beans belong in chili? I'm gonna go with no, but if you put beans in there, then it's stew. It's no longer chili.
How the hell is it stew?
Because then
you got to have some taters up in there.
Yeah, you're just pouring everything in there. If you're going to put beans in it, yes, put potatoes in it, put cornbread in it, put everything else in it. Throw the diaper, the kid, the everything. No.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Chili, meat. Stay away from the beans. Hate me if you want to. Also, we have Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, wow.
And you can tell me how much beans belong or don't belong in your chili or stew. See what I did?
I did. I like that. I love the plug.
It was a good plug.
It was a good plug.
All right. So today we have Miss Lisa, dispatcher.
Yes. And yes, she is retired now. She's done her time.
I would have to retire after the first call. It would scare me so much. I think I would have nightmares. I would have more anxiety, more panic, more everything if all I had was the phone call.
Yeah, no, like me, I'm pretty interactive. Like if something crazy comes in, I'm gonna be like, what do you want me to do? I'm gonna be up in the middle of it. But you hand me a phone and say, this is all you get to do. I'd be like, I don't know what to do.
How does your imagination not go crazy?
Yeah, I'm like imagining where you're at, what you're doing, what the scene looks like.
Yeah.
Or even when you come into the ER, it's like, okay, this is what I've got. You look dead.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
It's like,
Jethro, why are you this yellow? How
or
did you
white
not know?
or blue.
Yeah.
I mean, we get all the plethoras of colors. I mean, come on.
So I have my 2 decades of doing this flight, ground EMS, uh, even the people that we get to hear from working in the hospital loved our dispatchers. Thank you guys so much.
Y'all's job is tough. I'm just saying.
I would say on the mental side, harder than anybody who has to see what they see.
Yeah. I mean,
For me,
we have our own coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
So just not having
and
closure.
so
would be
and
a big
Lisa
thing.
does a good job of talking about compartmentalizing
Yeah.
and doing everything. We hope you guys enjoy Lisa's show. So we're starting off October with Crazy Train. So our crazy weird calls that have happened, and Lisa talks about a few of them.
Yeah, she does, and she does a great job. So,
Yeah.
yes.
It was so much fun talking to Lisa. And if you guys are our listeners and y'all are our dispatchers, thank you for the job that you do.
Yes.
I cannot imagine, or maybe I imagine too much your job, and it scares me.
100%.
It scares
Yeah.
me.
I
So
can't even imagine.
here is Miss Lisa. We hope you guys enjoy.
Thank
Hugs
you.
and cuddles.
Kisses.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unhinged Essentials. We are so glad that you guys came back. I'm Reed.
I am Cole. Welcome, welcome.
And today we have Miss Lisa with us. Lisa was a dispatcher in our wonderful state. And today we are going to give her a moment to introduce herself, tell us whatever juicy details she wants, and then we will roll into our craziest, strangest day at work. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you've done, where you're from.
So, I am originally from California, and when I turned 30 years old, like a lot of people, I decided I needed a change in life. So I moved to the state of Oklahoma, started college. As happens with a lot of people, there was a hiccup during my college education, so I didn't finish that. When I met my current husband, we were on the local fire department. We decided to go get our emergency medical responder certification so that we could respond to medical fires or medical calls. And on graduation night from that class, the recruiter for my local county ambulance service came in and said, "Hey, is anybody interested in working in our dispatch?" And at the time, I was working at a job that I really did not like, and so I was like, "Hey, that sounds like a lot of fun." Um, and so I switched over and I became a dispatcher, and I stayed there for 6 years.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Holy cow. So here, two decades as a first responder. I went from sheriff's office to fire to flight, and now working in a hospital. I have always thought the dispatch job was the hardest. I do not know how y'all deal with not getting closure on calls.
It can be kind of difficult. A lot of times though, you get to know all of the truck crews. So sometimes you get to find out what happened. But most times you don't, because they don't have the time to go and follow up on all of their patients either. Um, it's just something that you learn You learn to compartmentalize.
Does that make it hard not to get closure, or do you just learn to throw it in a box and not think about it again?
You just learn to throw it in a box and not think about it again. If you don't, well, what happened to me ends up happening. And what happened to me was during COVID, um, we had an uptick in cardiac arrest calls, as you would imagine. Well, previous to COVID, it would be maybe one cardiac arrest call in like a 3 month period. Um, but during COVID, I had in a period of 4 days, 7 cardiac arrest calls. And I worked every single one of them, and every single one of them passed away. And every single one of them, the reason they died is because they were afraid to go to the hospital
Oh
because
wow,
they didn't want to get COVID.
Holy
man,
cow.
that's frightening.
So I lost 7 patients in 4 days.
Oh my god.
I have not had that experience.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's just
that trumps
because of
mine.
it's
Yeah.
just because of the fear of going to the hospital because of COVID.
Yes, yeah, they were all, every single one of them, they were afraid to go to the hospital because they didn't want to catch COVID. And
Were
they
they
ended
like
up,
experiencing
Holy
symptoms for
crap.
days, or was it just
I'm sorry.
were they experiencing like the symptoms for days of having like chest pain and things like that, or was it
Some of them was, oh, it's I've been not feeling well for a week, or, you have the ones that are quite literally a sudden cardiac arrest.
oh wow.
Um, but most of them were elderly who had been sick for a while and they were afraid to go to the hospital. Um, and a lot of times they didn't even want the ambulance to come. They just wanted to let somebody know that they were sick. But we have to send an ambulance when somebody calls and they can refuse from that point. But um,
Jesus.
I mean, it was, daughter comes in and she says, "Oh, mom said she's been sick all week long." And, next thing you know, mom can't breathe. And they're calling because they've got a cardiac, they're in respiratory arrest or they're in cardiac arrest. And, you try to talk them through the CPR and they just, none of them made it.
Just didn't quite understand
And
the
I mean,
instructions, or
no, it's, you never know why. I mean, I've had cardiac arrest saves before. I think I had 3,
Hmm.
which is, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's not nothing either.
That's
But
better
they
than
were
most.
yeah, they were, so a cardiac arrest save is a documented case where a person was actually in cardiac arrest and they left the hospital with no neurological deficit.
Yes. Yep.
wow.
That's
Okay.
correct. Yep.
And so I had 3 cardiac arrest saves, so I know that I knew what I was doing. But we also used a computer software that gave instructions, and we followed those instructions. We gave those instructions for patient care, and there's just no knowing when it's going to work and when it's not going to work.
Wow.
I
I
had one lady who was doing CPR on her husband for 25 minutes because they lived in a very rural area before the ambulance could come and take over. And he actually ended up being one of my cardiac arrest saves.
Wow. That is awesome.
holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's gotta feel good.
it really does. It makes your
Yeah.
heart feel good.
Wow.
I can't wrap my mind around hearing probably what you've heard on the phone, and then it's just like, okay, they're here, and the phone call's over, like, All right. I am a guy that needs closure.
Well, so when I was just a wee rookie, um, I don't think I had been cleared for work, but maybe a month or two, and I got a call, and this guy was hysterical. He had stated that he had just gotten out of jail and that he was staying with his sister and her boyfriend, and that he had got jumped in an alley, and he said that there were 3 to 4 assailants and that he was gang raped. And that one really bothered me because I didn't know, I didn't have any idea what the outcome was on that one. And that's actually the call that taught me that I needed to compartmentalize and set me on the road to learning how to do that, because it was bothering me so desperately. And, with HIPAA, you can't just talk to anybody about the specific calls. And so I had told my husband, I was like, I have this really bad call and I can't tell you anything about it, but it's really bothering me. And he told me, he was like, babe, you're just going to have to learn how to leave work at work. And our agency had what they called it was basically a peer coaching program.
Yeah.
And so I spoke with my peer coach and told them, the issue that this one call was really bothering me, and they reinforced that, you just need to learn how to compartmentalize and pray, do a lot of prayer, and pray for that person specifically if that helps you. And so I learned to do that, and tried to learn how to leave work at work. And that one, it just always kind of stuck with me. And then, like 2 years later, one of my coworkers, because I was telling them, I'm like, yeah, this one call really bothered me. And she started laughing, and I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I was on that call. Well, okay, well, why are you laughing? Because, like he had requested only female responders, and one of them had said, yeah, it was really bloody. And so, like, all the details that just really kind of affect you. And I was like, okay, so why are you laughing? And she said, because it turns out he didn't get gang raped. He had just gone a little overboard with self-love and a glass bottle.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, you live with this for 2 years,
awesome.
and then you find out it's self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That you're a mess. I'm sorry. It's like, wow.
I love it.
Oh my God. Now you're
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm an idiot.
I
So
can't,
it's
no, I
like-
can't even, man.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, you have got to be kidding me. Seriously?
This guy is such a
Seriously.
part
Like
of my
this
self-help. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow.
Holy cow. I'm afraid to ask what your crazy day at work was.
Yeah. Oh God. So, dispatch is, honestly, it's really boring. There's a whole lot of TV watching going on. And just kind of, it's one of those things, like when I was in high school, I took ROTC for police department.
Yeah.
And my law enforcement teacher had told me that law enforcement is hours and hours and days of absolute boredom, penetrated by moments of sheer terror. And that's pretty much what dispatch is. It's lots and lots of boredom, and then you all of a sudden will answer the phone, and it's chaos.
Would you say like your cardiac arrests are the chaotic part of it, or is there other things that have reached out to you that's been more chaotic even than that?
It's the suicide calls were the worst. For some reason, the majority of my calls where suicide was either actualized or attempted were more often than not hangings.
Oh,
And
wow.
we had one family. The lady had 3 sons,
Mhm.
and her eldest son had died by hanging. And then her second son, a couple of years later, died by hanging. And then a couple of years later, her youngest son in their barn died by hanging.
Oh my God.
And her, I mean, it was just, I recognized the address from the second son. So I took the second son's call and the youngest son's call. And just
Okay.
the absolute grief in her voice. She was like, my last boy, my only boy, you know, just the absolute just grief. And those ones really stick with you.
So a lot of mental health issues in that family, apparently.
You know, mental health is a serious issue in our nation, and we need to pay better attention to it, and we need to get better at treating mental illness. We need to reduce the negative stigma that surrounds it, so
Mental
that
health is
people aren't
definitely not,
afraid to ask for help.
it's definitely not very focused in our state for sure. There's not a lot of support for it.
Yeah.
How do you how do you there's no preparing for answering a phone call like that.
No, no. And I mean, let's be honest, there's not that when you start learning, and I mean, there's courses that you take to become a dispatcher, and one of the things that they will tell you is only 1% of the population are successful of being a dispatcher. And I would absolutely say that that is probably the truth, because it takes a special sort of someone who can um answer that call. You know what I mean? Um it it bothers me that I don't feel um like I could go back to dispatch because of what happened with the COVID, time. Um it bothers me because I loved it. And one of the things that, I felt like once I started dispatch, I was very good at it. And so I felt like, man, I finally found my calling. Here I was 45 years old, or 40 years old, and I finally found my calling. Um, and then I just feel like COVID took that from me.
So COVID was the reason you quit doing dispatch?
Yes. Yeah, that 4 day, that 7 cardiac arrests of 4 days was just more than I could bear.
Wow. So it literally ended
Yeah.
your career then.
Yeah.
Could you ever see yourself going back to it, or
I've thought about it, and then I panic over it. So I put that thought away for a while.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, I understand it. I mean, COVID was rough. I mean, it was rough on everybody. There
Yeah,
was
I
no
mean,
escaping.
nurses and doctors, I don't know how you guys stuck with it and are were able to continue afterwards because I mean, I only dealt with it over the phone, so I'm like a step removed. I wasn't there with the people um who were sick and dying and sometimes alone and um I know you guys, really stepped up and you put your selves right in the line of danger um because we didn't really know what the protections were for people at that time. Um
Listen,
so
please don't discount. We I have always loved my dispatchers. Um, I when people say I don't know how you do the job that you do,
We dumb.
fill
That's what
yeah
it is. We
fill yeah
dumb.
fill in the blank for whatever job when they say I don't know how you do that job.
yeah.
I legitimately do not know. I'm fascinated with the dispatch world because I want to know what people are saying when they initially call for help
Yeah.
because the story changes 6 times before it gets to the doctor.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
You know,
Oh,
it's
100%.
like,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I I have to maybe like that's my own mental block. I have to have closure. So I have to see what happened, me handing off to you
Yeah.
or to the doc and going, okay, they still have a pulse and a pressure. Here you
So now
go.
what's gonna happen? I
Yeah.
mean, like
Yeah.
I think I would struggle in a dispatcher's
Yeah. It's
situation
like,
because
hey,
you
they're
get this
here.
phone
Okay,
call.
bye.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is what you're gonna do. This is what you're gonna do. This. Oh, the cops are there. Oh, EMS is there. Okay, I'll talk to you later. I would be like, oh, hold on. I'm not gonna talk to you later. Good luck. Bye.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know
Yeah.
what to say. It would be.
Well, it's so funny, and it's I don't know, morbidly funny, I guess, but I actually came from a customer service background, so I would catch myself saying, "Okay, have a good day" when I hung up the
At the end
phone.
of
It's like I know they
yeah.
just had a heart attack, but have a good day.
Yeah. Yeah. Do better.
With smoking.
Man, so yeah, COVID was weird. I understand the conflict with that. I remember the very first patient that I said, "Hey, the COVID protocols had changed, so you couldn't take family with you. It was assumed that if you had COVID symptoms, everybody had them,
Yep.
and so
Right.
we had to isolate everyone."
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
remember taking someone to the hospital after telling their wife, it'll be okay. We're going to this hospital.
False hope. False
When
hope.
you get there, just tell them their name and I will make sure that I give the staff your name that you're this person's spouse.
Mm-hmm.
And they were dead by the time we got to the
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. And one of the things that we were always trained to do too is never tell someone that everything's going to be okay.
Yep.
But that's in our nature because we are nurturers and we want people to have hope, even if, and sometimes even if it's that false hope.
Well, it's like, I mean, even in like nursing school, they tell you don't give somebody false hope.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
It's like
And then,
just tell them I'm going to do everything I can for you.
Yeah.
yes. And that's what we're supposed to tell them in dispatch as well is don't ever give anyone false hope. Um, but how do you not try to tell that person that their loved one that is going to be that they're going to be okay, like, and I would have people express to me, oh God, I'm just so scared, I don't know what's going to happen, And I would have to tell them, listen, if it was my family member, I would want that paramedic taking care of my family member. They're going to do everything that they can to, take care of them. And so that's what I would do. I would always hype up the abilities of the paramedics, because I wanted them to have faith that the paramedics were going to do everything that they could possibly do.
I mean, it's hard not to give false hope. It really is. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've ever dialed 911. Right. I've never had to call in and say, like, I come help. I need your help now.
I have,
Yeah.
Right.
and it was probably so. It's a different area than where we live in. So, like currently where we live in, it's a different area. But I actually called 911 because at the time my mom was having a lot of issues and she wasn't well, and she was literally standing there talking to me, and then she just fell out, hit the floor. And I was like, oh shit, what just happened? Did she have a stroke? What happened?
Yeah.
So I call 911 and I tell them what's going on. And they're like, well, do you want an EMS? No, I was just calling to let you know that my mom hit the floor and I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know if she just had a stroke. I'm like, if you did an EMS, that would be appreciated. But if not, it's okay. I will figure this out.
That did not. That happened.
It 100% happened. And I was
oh my god,
I'm
that's
just
insane.
calling because I needed somebody to chat with for a minute. My mom is conscious on the floor. I don't know what to do with her.
No, Hooker,
I'm like,
I want a recipe for a chocolate cake.
I'm like, I'm a nurse, and I know that she's breathing, but I don't know if she had a stroke. I don't know what happened.
Holy
she just
cow.
hit the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck do I do?
Well, see, and
you would think I know what to do, but I didn't. I was like, it's my mom.
Our dispatchers, when I was working fire, even I was closer to our dispatchers when I flew, and they were in Missouri.
Okay, because you talked.
You knew, like, it. You essentially had a regional dispatcher, and they were typically on your shift. So the girl that was on our shift, love her to death. I've never seen her face.
Right.
A good relationship.
I know her voice. If she called on the phone, I would know that it was, this person.
So and so. Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because the company that I worked for, we always had in-service trainings, and you don't necessarily know the faces of the paramedics that you work with. And I would show up to the in-services as a newbie and be like, oh, I know your voice, you're so and so. And they would, and they'd hear my voice and they go, oh my god, it's you.
That's awesome. It was, I couldn't have, my imagination would run wild hearing somebody describe their whatever emergency.
Yeah.
Hearing them say, this is happening, I need this. And then, you always kind of assume, based on like dialect or whatever their accent is, it's like what kind of house they live in. Like, I feel like hoarders always sound the same.
The whole picture built.
Yeah.
That is so
true. Band goes in the background, and that something bad is happening. My imagination, it would drive me crazy to have to imagine. I'm so grateful for the job that you did, and for all the people that you helped, and those CPR saves that you were a part of is phenomenal.
I have been gone from there for what, like 5, 6 years now, 7 years.
Mhm.
And I still have those awards hanging on my wall in my house. I've
Yeah.
I've delivered 2 babies,
Oh,
1 or 2 babies over the phone.
Dang.
no babies, no babies, and I'm a sick tight to that.
I
No
got-
baby, no
I have,
baby
I have
deliveries.
one under my belt, and I was not a fan of it.
Hey, babies are fun.
Yeah.
I had this one guy, he was calling, and he lived, so we have 2 towns that are about 45 minutes apart from each other. One has an Indian hospital and also a regular hospital, and then the other town just has the big hospital. Well, he lived in the town with the big hospital, but was trying to take his wife to the Indian hospital. So he was driving away from us and out of our coverage area. And he was telling me, my wife's in labor, and I'm like, listen, I need you to pull over because we need to deliver this baby. And he's like, no, I can't. I got to get her to the Indian hospital because that we don't have medical insurance, and they're going to cover it at that hospital. I've got to get her there. And I'm like, no, pull over. I will send you an ambulance. And I could not get him to comprehend that our ambulance would take them to the hospital that they needed to go to. But I needed him to pull over because he was driving away from our ambulance. And he would not pull over. And all of a sudden he goes, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, what? What's going on? He goes, the baby's out. The baby's out. And I was
see
like,
a leg.
pull over right now.
Holy cow. I can't. Lisa, thank
And then
you
so he
so much
finally
for that
pulls
job.
over,
Yeah.
and I'm able to give him aftercare instructions. And because he's pulled over, our ambulance can finally catch up with him.
Golly.
Wow.
And they ended up taking his wife and the baby to the hospital. But sometimes people just, you can't get through because they're panicked.
Yeah.
And but luckily it was a successful delivery. Everything was fine. Mom and baby were healthy. Everything was great. But there are so many times and things go wrong. But we were just really lucky that this time everything turned out perfect.
All right, Miss Lisa, thank you so much for interviewing with us today.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate the job that you do, that you did so much. I love our dispatchers, and they don't get the credit that they deserve for being the first of the first people to
Have contact,
help and
Yeah.
intervene and do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should consider coming
It was
back.
nice being able to positively reminisce about some of the things that I've, been a part of for so many years.
Well, I'm a fan, and thank you so much for hanging out with us and talking about your days, your calls. You've made obviously a positive impact in several people's lives.
You need to
Oh,
come
thank
back.
you.
We need them.
Yeah. Well, guys, that was Miss Lisa. We are so thankful that she was here. For our dispatchers that are listening, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys do more than you are ever told that you do. You make more of an impact and a difference than you are given credit for. For Lisa and all of our dispatchers out there, we love y'all. Thank you again for joining us on today's show. Again, hit us up on all of our socials, Instagram, Facebook, all of your podcast websites. Hugs and cuddles.
Kisses.